Welcome everybody to our brand new episode of Epic Haunts. And today we've got rid of Simon. I have another co-host with me, the man, the myth, the legend, the doll, Chucky.
Hi.
Well,
I
Chucky's
am
voice ain't
actually here,
working.
guys. I haven't turned it on yet. That's why I didn't want to go off
Oh,
before we came in. So he does speak, guy. He does speak.
apparently
A
he does
true
speak.
classic
Yeah.
never goes out of style. I'll be back. I always come back.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about it. How many times can you kill someone to bring them back? Anyway, now if you've
Yeah.
seen Chucky and you've seen Simon, it's a very
You
simple one
do
here.
know
So
who I am. And
that's
He
why he
likes to
turns him
interrupt.
off.
you are going to love.
He just likes to interrupt all the time.
So
He just
anyway,
likes
as
to
it
interrupt
alludes,
all the time.
Chucky's with us because we are not just doing the history of the Chucky series. We are actually going back in time. We're doing Child's Play and Chucky. So Simon's
Yeah.
lost his notes. So before we go anywhere, I actually have some interesting notes set in the movie verse, though. And I'm going to start from the beginning,
Okay.
how it's meant to start the movie. Now, I've just seen this online. If it's wrong, don't blame me. I'll put the link to the person online if you want to prove it's not me.
Hmm.
So I took a few notes, but Simon is the expert on the movies. And by the way, before I get into this, don't forget to like us on all the apps
Like,
out
comment,
there.
and comment
Right with you.
out of the seven films that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. And
Tell us which one
obviously give
you
us a
like.
good
We're
review
not
on any
talking about the
podcast
new
app.
version. Yeah, we're not talking about the new version.
Well, we might get to it at the end, but who
No,
cares?
no, it's
It's
crap.
not really that big. And the last episodes are always bad, I think. I think they run out of ideas and I think they're too long. 6 episodes max. Listen to me. Right, here we
Yeah.
go. Chunky info that I got today. So apparently in 1866, September, when well, I don't know what some of this means, so Simon might get this more than me. The mayor's house was built. I don't care. And then there's nothing for 93 years, apparently. So this is what this guy's figured out, even though some newspaper things seem to contradict through different movies. This is what he's going by. 1959, March 12th, birth of Charles Lee Ray. Charles killed his parents around the age 7 or 8, apparently. Um, but they're saying, because this is a news article, so they're saying the 8-year-old bit could be a new article from the year later. It's a bit
Yeah.
all
Well,
over the place.
the thing is that doesn't come in the films. It's in the series. You get the backstory of Chucky. So
Okay, and then 1972, Charles, that I'm presuming that's a young lad, isn't it? Charles, no, he's 14
no,
years
it's
old at
Charles Lee
that
Ray.
point. Yeah,
Yeah,
Charlie's right, he's 14 years old in 1972. They think they figured out. 1972, Charles leaves Wayward's boy home. Now, I think he's 14 years old. That's when he killed his parents, if I remember right.
no, he killed his parents younger. If you look at the flashbacks in season 2 of Chucky,
I'm
the
not taking
series,
notes of the series. We're talking about the films, and the
I know.
films have it.
Yeah, well, this has
So,
got none of what you're saying is in any of the films. So I don't know where the
well,
guy he got
apparently
his
it is
information
because
from.
I've
Says,
seen he shows you the clips in the films. I think you've just forgot.
uh,
Apparently Charles dies. What's he see? 1982. This is when Andy's born. Apparently November the 9th. Great month to be born. Charles dies 1988 in the movie. I'm guessing that's when he
yeah,
gets changed into
opening
the
scene.
doll. November 1998. So 1987, Charles and Tiffany probably meet, and that's when they're meant to have probably met, and that's when they get this Pontiac car. What comes a big thing, I presume, between them. Child's Play 2 takes place in October 1990, apparently. None of this is very interesting to me. Child's Play 3,
Yeah,
Andy, 16-year-old, in 1998, apparently. So you're seeing its progression through the years now. Bride of Chucky probably takes place spring 1999 is what they're guessing. Cedar Chucky takes place 2004 March time. Then you see it's like a 5 years into the future through the movie when it's Glenn and Glenda's birthday. That's obviously the person who was just one person once and then came twins. What's
yep.
confusing
Which
on
is
its own.
actually in the film, and you'll see
Yeah.
his split personality. But
And then we get to Curse of Chucky 2013, January the 13th. This is movie Chucky. This is the movie where Chucky figures out how to split his soul into other Chucky dolls. So what
Mhm.
happens in the series, it makes sense. Um, Cult of Chucky is 2017, January, apparently that was. And then right to the series where we basically started from a few years ago. Chucky season 1, something it takes place straight after Cult of Chucky, but apparently proof shows it takes place in 2021. Now there is a lot of stuff in it what talks about songs, movies, and that were what were set in 2021. So to me, I think that could be absolutely right. And some people just confused. I think it's the woman who got possessed by Chucky.
Yeah, she's in a
She says,
mental asylum
yeah,
and
she
she's been
goes,
escaped.
oh, for 2 weeks and everything. But with Chucky going in and out of her all the time, she's asleep and she doesn't know what time of the day, what year it is. So that is all the boring info. Now I'm going to let Simon take control of this because he is the Chucky fan.
Yeah, well, everything. I don't know. I do remember some of the bits that you said in that, but a lot of that sounds just like a load of waffle that someone just made up just to try and write an article. No
Oh, it's
disrespect
not
to
an
the guy who's
article.
done it, but
It's on YouTube. He shows you all the
yeah, that's what
clips.
I mean. I think it's just Anyway, the films are better than that, so don't go off that as a synopsis.
They're not
Yeah,
actually. Sorry, he's wrong there.
yeah.
Seed of Chucky's absolute shit.
Well, it's got a certain member of S Club 7 in it who are now doing a reunion tour. Never mind.
If they show up.
So well, we'll see. You have Child's Play, the first one, where he just Charles Lee Ray gets shot, has to put himself into another soul or something to try and uh, prolong his life. But his main thing was he wanted revenge on the cop who killed him and his best friend, his friend who left him at the robbery or something. So he does. He does it as a doll. He kills the copper. Tries to kill the cop at the end. He manages to kill his friend. He blows him up with a gas. He turns a gas on in an abandoned house, and blows it up. Boom, big boom. Some of the kills are all right, but I found the animatronics quite good for 1988. If you remember it.
I actually think they look better than the remake Chucky movie, if truth be told.
Yeah, it was. But obviously, Chucky doesn't manage to get his soul into Andy because what he finds out from the voodoo guy, whoever he revealed himself to first, that he was a possessed doll, that's the person he has to put his soul into. So it's Andy. Andy manages to fight him off a few times, and his mum kicks him, and they burn him, they kick him, and then that's the end of the film. And then Child's Play 2 comes along because someone decided to. What did they do now? Did they rebuild him? Or was that for 3? I can't remember now.
I think number two, I think it is number 2. They rebuild him because
they
they want
rebuild
to
it.
prove
Someone
that
rebuilds
the
it.
doll wasn't evil and alive.
Yeah. And then this is where Andy's now on his own. He's been put into a foster family. And that's when you get to meet Kyle, who shows up in the series as well.
Yeah.
And it just goes back and forth with Chucky trying to get Andy again. And Kyle gets involved. And eventually he goes to a toy factory where he comes to his demise and being melted alive, which that did actually kind of a gruesome kill, that one, where he got melted. So, but I think his tallies of his kills are probably up there with some of the biggest slashers in Halloween horror, of Halloween and Freddy. I think Chucky's got a lot of kills, especially in number 2. He does get quite a few. Then moves on to Child's Play 3. Does get a bit tedious, this one, because it's more military standard and Andy's a little bit older. He reveals himself to a young kid who's in the cadets. But the kid is overacting badly. And it was a little bit creepy that the kid got really excited about seeing an old, I think it was an advert from the 1980s, 88 advert from the first Child's Play. So, yeah, that didn't go down well. It's just back and forth again and trying to get killed. And then we get to the ones that Universal have got the rights for and they're going to use, because they can't use Child's Play 1, 2, and 3 for some reason, but they can use everything else, which if I need to just make this a bit small, look, it's a bit too big. It's covering the whole screen. I had a few notes up and it's covered it all. What is it doing?
Okay, Simon's trying to get his notes up here, Bill. As ever, we are professional as ever, you see.
Well, it's not like Phil just put share screen on. It's covered my whole screen. I can't see anything at all now.
Oh dear, Simon, that's so unprofessional.
Well, I weren't expecting you to do that. If you told me, you would have told me.
I tell you what, it's Apple computers, mate. I just had someone argue me about an Apple phone because they can't do copy and paste on it, apparently. Because I'm not going to go full story about it, but I just said it's not a very good excuse. But I always hear excuses from Apple people with technology.
Yeah. So then we move into the kind of weird Chucky films. Bride of Chucky, where this doll is actually the one from it. That's what the phrases he says is actually the one that is in Bride of Chucky. And that's when we get to meet Jennifer Tilly. Who is it? Tiffany she plays.
Yes.
And
not
he's
to
an old
be
time fling.
confused, not to be confused with Tiffany from EastEnders.
That's a reference only half the audience will get.
That's all right, mate. There's not much of an audience.
Well. If you are listening, let us know which is your favourite character from EastEnders. Anyway,
Pat Butcher. I don't even know who the new one. I don't know who the new ones are. I ain't watching anything. That's Bianca, innit?
I've not watched it about 15 years. Anyway, Bride of Chucky, they kind of try to outdo each other with kills in this one. Because they're trying to just because he eventually puts them in the doll just to kind of piss her off, and it works because they just start fighting back and forth and trying to get themselves into a young runaway couple, I think it is. We're trying to elope so they can get married. So it's just them going back and forth, trying to kill, trying to possess the souls of another human so they can live forever. And then we have a sex scene. There is a sex scene with the dolls. And it's a very, very quick birth because that's what then ends the film of Bride of Chucky, which then leads into Seed of Chucky. And you get to see Glenda or Glenn.
Glenn first, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Glenn at first, but then because Tiffany wants him to be a girl, Chucky wants him to be a boy. He gets sexually confused and becomes a split personality, psycho killing doll. And the reason why he knows that he's one of them dolls is because he has Made in China on his wrist. Same as what Chucky has. And that's where he's seen him. You have Hannah. Is that Hannah Spirit, I think, from S Club 7. She's a PA for Jennifer Tilly. Who that's is it Jennifer Tilly? She's playing herself in this one. I think she is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it is where she comes in. I'm not sure which one it is, but she definitely comes in herself.
She plays herself, but then when she possesses, this is what I got confused about when I watched the series again, is that she swaps souls with Tiffany, Jennifer Tilly, becomes Tiffany in Jennifer Tilly's body, but then the doll gets smashed to pieces by a big truck and dies. So I don't know how Jennifer Tilly's still alive in the series. It did confuse me that a little bit.
Because the series changed a few things from the rules, mate. Yeah. It's the only way to put it. They've changed it for a bit more creative license.
Yeah. So then we get into a big break, to be fair. After Seed of Chucky, it was nearly 9 years before we got another Chucky film. And we got Curse of Chucky, which turns out that I can't remember the girl's name who he ends up torturing. Her mother was friends with Charles Lee Ray before he died. So that's the connection of how he does that. And she's a paraplegic. She broke her back or something.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have
I think it's in the mental asylum, isn't it?
No, it's in a house.
I can't remember.
Yeah, it's all Cult of Chucky's in the Cult of Chucky's the one. But yeah, she it just goes back. He wants to get revenge on friends who abandoned him when he was younger, before he died. So, and he had ties to this house, so that's where he sent the doll, or Jennifer Tilly sent the doll, should I say, to get revenge, because that's the whole premise. And all hell breaks loose again in the houses, and the house, which a sister's trying to sell because they just found out mother's died. who's looking after her. So you got the greedy sister trying to make a quick sale in the house. So Chucky takes care of all that for him without actually realizing. Because a lot of these kills in this one, he actually makes them look like accidents, so you can't tell there's actually a murderer around. But yeah, eventually he does what he needs to do, and it moves on, and she gets put into a mental asylum. Because she supposedly is telling everyone that the doll's alive, and she gets blamed for all the murders, killing her mother and sister's boyfriend, and she gets locked up in a mental asylum. Then escapes. I think it's at the end. She escapes because Charles Lee Ray has managed to actually get hold of her, or Chucky, I think. Everything's blurring into one for me at the moment because my brain is smashed. But then we move on to, which a lot of people hated it when it first came out, was Cult of Chucky. Because this is where he realised he could. That's when he started realising he could possess multiple dolls at the same time. Because in this one, you've got the original head from, I think it's Bride of Chucky, or not Bride, might be the Bride of Chucky, or whatever. But Andy has got the original head in a safe. But these Chucky films have been carried on while this head is still in Andy's possession. So, and Andy's a bit of a fruitcake because he's obsessed with killing all the Chucky dolls.
Simon takes a drink.
Yeah. My mouth's dead dry today. Unfortunately, I went out last night. A bit too much to drink and didn't get until 3:30 this morning. Dirty stop out, I know. And so,
hang on, no, stop. A dirty stop out is a person who stays out, sleeps with somebody they don't know, and does the walk of shame in the morning. I presume you went home with Julie.
oh yeah, we came home, but we didn't get until about 3:30 this morning. Wasn't intending to be that late. Yeah. But yeah, I've lost my train of thought again. Yeah, we Cult of Chucky. This is where you can. Yeah, there's multiple Chuckies in this one as well because he's possessed a few others. It's merely in a mental asylum or low security mental asylum for the criminally insane. And the main thing, what happens really is Andy. You get to see Andy again as an older man, who was the original kid in the first 3 films. So it's nice to get Andy back. And Chucky just racks up kills. I think, let's have a quick look. I think Chucky's got quite a big tally of kills. I'm having a bad day today. I really want to go back to bed.
Maybe I should take control of this episode.
Yeah. A total of 67 kills over the span of the film. It's a lot of them. Nah. A lot of them were accidents. 67's quite. It's more than Freddy. It's a hell of a lot more than Freddy.
Yeah, but Freddy's got harder. He's got to get people in their dreams. Chucky's got 24 hours a day.
I'll be interested. Let's have a look. See how many. Let's compare it to Michael Myers. Let's have a quick.
Myers would have that many. I'm going to go about 20 for Michael Myers.
Yeah.
It's not the only one was going to thrash him was the guy from Friday the 13th, isn't it?
Yeah. Does it say how many he's actually had over the course? 20. It don't actually say over the 8 movies. 92 people he's killed.
Oh yeah, I suppose when you think how many movies there have been, but if you made it the canon movies, he's at about 20.
Yeah. So that was just a quick rundown of the Chucky films that we really. And I know people are going to say, "What's it going to do with Halloween Horror Nights?" We've got Chucky house confirmed by Halloween Horror Nights. We know it's going to be based on the series, but there's going to be Easter eggs from these films.
Also, there's always is.
So, I'd say just give yourself a bit of a Chucky thon.
But it's also much. It's more fun. You might enjoy the series more if you know the history of it in the first place.
Yeah, because the series does jump in and out of the movies at certain timelines. So if you do want to know what's going on, watch back the films.
What I really like about Chucky as well, I presume Chucky fans, but a lot of people might know. When he first goes into the doll, it's the doll, isn't it? It's good
Yeah,
guy doll back then. And
yeah,
then you'll see its facial features start changing, its hairline starts receding, like
yeah,
real life. So that is why he has to get out of the doll as well, because if he doesn't get out of the doll, he ain't ever escaping.
yeah. And that's one of the things through the films as well, because he actually starts to get nosebleeds every so often, and
Yeah.
when he can be like, I need to get out of this body, else he's going to turn into a small human. That's the only way you could
And
say it. Cause,
and it did answer the question in the Bride of Chucky and all that stuff. Does he have the bits? And
yes,
clearly he does.
it does. And it was an accelerated birth because I think Tiffany was pregnant for maybe 2 days, and then had the child. But then she got killed at the same time as the child was born. So yeah, that's just a little rundown of the Chucky films. I thought I'd just give you a bit of a different aspect to Chucky, other than rabbiting on about the series that everyone keeps talking about.
That the series, what I have finished both, and I really don't
Yeah.
want a season three. I'm sorry. I enjoyed the
Mm.
first two. I was excited for the first one before it come. I was overly excited for the second one. And the next one, I'm like, has it run its
Mm.
course? What can you really do? What's not different? I mean, the main boy actor is that you've got to kill him off now, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's like it's
Yeah,
boring
it
having the
needs
same
to.
people.
The thing is that you saw they're around about the same age now, aren't they?
Yeah.
But then they're going to get. It's like when Andy just suddenly shot up from 2 to 3. These kids are going to start aging quite quickly over the next few years. So they're either going to
Yeah,
have to
they're gonna start looking
kill
like
them off.
adults, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to kill them off because it's going to have that effect with Stranger Things. That's why they're doing. I think they're doing a time jump. I know we're going up completely
In
off
the
topic
yeah,
here. There's going to be a
yeah,
massive time jump in season 4. So they could do that with Chucky, but they've done it with the films. Why do it with the series? Like to keep the series going the way it is.
So
But
with the house, so we can now get into
mm,
Halloween Horror Nights. I presume there's going to be dolls in there, a few animatronics, if I got that word right, and a few
yeah,
shorter people actors playing the role as
um,
well.
I think they're mainly going to be puppets, personally.
It's a puppet. That's an English thing.
Yeah,
What people won't get.
uh, just search it. Just search it's a puppet. You'll thank us later. Honestly, Americans, you will thank us later. But it's going to be. I'm looking. If I do go, I am looking forward to this one. But Chucky is one of my favorite characters in horror. It's one of the first films I watched.
I'm just
Um,
hoping that they've got somebody in there controlling Chucky who can do the voice. And don't be friendly. Go
yeah,
at people, insult me. If you see me and I'm fat, call me fat.
well, I believe they did that in the 2009 um, Chucky House. Because I missed that, unfortunately. I went 2008, but in 2010, but missed 2012. And
Because Chucky and obviously
updates.
Freddy Krueger are both known for brilliant one-liners, and that's
Yeah,
what I want.
I think they had, was it the Insult Emporium at Hollywood once, where it was a Chucky house, where literally it was. I don't know, it was a house or it was just a station where he just insulted you as you walked through.
See, this is why I
So
worry why they will hold it back a bit now because you might lose people of what I'm about to say, but the world's gone so bloody soft now that a little joke insult hurts your feelings and you can't laugh anymore. You can laugh at it. Don't take your life so seriously. Someone calls me fat. Yeah, I put pounds on. I don't care what they think because I'm me and I'm happy with me, and that's where you need to be in your lives. Don't
yeah,
care what
grow up, grow
don't
us
care what a
literally
stranger says down the street.
grow up, grow a set of balls, and if you've got a problem with somebody, just say it, but don't act like it's the end of the world
Look.
because it's
When
not.
someone jokingly says something, and it's a rib, don't get upset. If they're being evil,
It's usually
just ignore them.
it's called sarcasm. Look that word up.
But that I hate saying this, but that could be the problem difference. The UK, we're very known for very dry, evil sarcasm. So to us, we'd walk into that and people go, "Oh, you were so cruel." And we'd be like, "You think
No, it
that's
wasn't.
bad? Come down my local pub on a weekend. We'll show you bad."
Yeah, well, yeah. Don't want to insult any of the Americans, but yeah, sarcasm is a thing.
But no, because we've
Uh,
hanged out with Americans out there, and they are top grade people, and we have had some fun, and absolute funny times when we've been in stitches because of them. But I'm just saying, in general, people, if it's a Chucky house, expect dark, dry humor. Otherwise, it's not
Yeah.
Chucky to me.
Oh, why is my signals playing up?
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
mate.
got
If
it.
I'm breaking up on this, I do apologise. It's
Yeah, people.
uh,
It's my.
it's horrible.
It's a Mac.
It's
Do you
not.
remember that you?
It's
In all
my
fairness,
internet. It's
guys,
Virgin.
well,
It's terrible.
funny you say that. I'm actually moving over to City Fibre in about a month. I'm on Virgin, but I am
Yeah.
moving over. Well, this is amazing. So, getting back to the house, though. So, what do you think you're going to be looking for from the series? I think we're going to see ripped Chucky.
Yeah,
Paul
we're
Chucky.
seeing Butch Chucky,
Yeah,
definitely. Uh, I think we're going to see about maybe 7 or 8 different variations of him because there was that scene where you had seen them all being flown off the roof,
yeah.
off the truck, but you didn't really see many of them. So why is it's really annoying me now because I'm
Don't worry
freezing
about
like
it. Do
mad.
not worry about it. I can hear you perfectly. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I know, but it's annoying me because I can see it.
Oh,
But
you bloody OCD people.
yeah, but yeah, you'll have I think many different variations of Chucky. You'll have some actors and actresses looking like possibly the characters, the kids, because Universal do usually do that quite well,
They do.
and they do they do. Yeah, just let me just switch my camera off a second and switch it back on
Okay,
again.
baby, gonna take it for a few. What I'm looking for, I said I'm looking for multiple variants of Chucky Nath. I'm hoping we're gonna get a few different characters. We're clearly gonna get some of the deaths like the nun and all that killed. I love to see if they can do the is it the pastor, the reverend, wherever he is, and if they can explode, do some sort of weird way of that explosion from season 2. Obviously, we are in spoilers here, people, so I do apologize if I've just spoiled anything. But there are so many great deaths in the series. That is what I'm also looking for as well. In it. Obviously, we want Tiffany in there and want her doll. But it's got to be in there. Um, Easter eggs, as Simon says, from the actual movies. That's why you want to go and do your homework. So when you go through, a lot of people will go through and go, don't know what the hell that was about. But if you watch the movies, you'll be going, I know what it is. Simon has returned.
I have returned. I've sorted my camera. It's for some reason when the internet plays up, it messes up all my cameras. But anyway, um, yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting concept, and if they try and just do a storyline through it of different variations of Chucky, I think that's all it really needs. It doesn't need to be
Well,
like
series
tone for
one's
tone for this.
obviously we're in spoilers. Series one's in the normal school and where they live, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
season
So
two's in the religious boarding school.
yeah, and that can be creepy enough as it is.
Yeah.
So I think that might be
I think there's enough
easy enough
there.
to replicate. Yeah.
I
They
hope
could
they do the
use
cabin when they're eating off the body, the human body in the cabin. Chucky's taking
yeah,
bits off and cooking it. Oh, that would be awesome.
yeah,
So there's a lot of good
yeah.
stuff in it. So if you haven't watched the series, actually, why get to this? Something's been bugging me lately. I've been seeing it on YouTube. There's people moaning, and I don't get it, saying they're not looking forward to certain houses and that, and it's been going on for years. And then they allude to they've not even watched it. Now, you can say I don't know what I think about it because I haven't seen it,
Mm.
but you can't say you're not looking forward to it because you haven't watched it yet. If you haven't watched it, I wouldn't even talk about it. I would wait until you've watched it, then talk about
Yeah.
it. Because
Well,
then, and if
prime
you don't like
example,
it
that's what I did.
afterwards, yeah. And if you don't like it, that is absolutely brilliant. But
Mm.
don't bash something what could be coming to an event because you
Yeah,
haven't seen it yet. That doesn't make sense to me.
yeah. Well, in prime example, we didn't talk about the Chucky season until I'd watched it. Because how could
Yeah,
I
we
talk
held this
about
back.
something? Yeah, couldn't really talk about the series until I watched it. It took me a while to watch it, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the series. I do think it needs to probably end at season 3. I think
Yeah, I think it's probably the best now.
go back. I would say if they want to do the Chucky, just do the films again. Just do a film every 5 years. It's working with Scream. Talk. The thing we'll get the elephant in the out of the room as well. That new Child's Play with Buddy instead of Chucky. Mark Hamill
I
doing the
love Mark.
voice.
By the way, I love Mark Hamill,
Yeah,
but you're not
yeah.
Chucky.
No, no. But
Great
that
Joker,
film was that
Batman.
that film was, and I will say this, terrible.
Well,
I
hence
don't
why they
know
went the series and went back.
how they went down that route, thinking it's not a possessed doll, but a malfunctioning doll. Literally just ripping off The Simpsons.
Well, apparently the idea was what I saw. I watched a few videos. It was a disgruntled worker who used to work for the company
Yeah,
making the dolls at
I do.
Cola, and because he got fired, he put to make them all evil. What was like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
They still need
I
to be
thought,
alive in a soul. That was just silly.
yeah, it was just a
And the
bit. I
Chucky looked
think,
rubbish. It just looked stupid.
yeah, it did. But that's what it happened, and then it went back to the series, and the series worked. So yeah, that's really it, guys, for this Chucky mini Chucky episode.
Yeah.
Um,
So I will
Let us
tell you
know.
what. I want to give the series a both seasons together 7 out of 10. I can't go
I'm
higher.
probably about the same. I'm probably about the same. Um, the films, like I said, they're not 10 out of 10 films. Some of them are not even 8 out of 10, but they're enjoyable. They're not even 90 minutes. Some of them are not even 90 minutes long. Stick them on, just watch them. 90 minutes. It's not a long time out of your life to watch them. They're easy watches. The stuff you can just put on. If you get bored of it, turn it off, put it back on again. You can catch up with most of it. Um, but yeah, if I do get to go this year, this will be one of the ones I'm looking forward to because
I'm
I
hoping
do like Chucky.
like that there. I'm hoping Spirit of Halloween has a Chucky one in this year.
What the Michael?
Yeah, the old Michael Myers special guest stuff and all that. I really like these sort
Yeah.
of things from Spirit Halloween. So I'm hoping they've got something like that, or even one like that with Chucky on. Something like that.
Well,
I want to get rid of this
well,
Disney Halloween party thing.
there is. I have got another favourite character,
Oh, here we go.
Billy.
Jigsaw.
Yeah. It's a nice little bit of fan out of that actually. It's
I'm
an
sure there's a new
authentic.
movie coming out of that this year, funny enough.
Yeah, it's second part of Jigsaw, I think it is. So,
Okay, that'd be
but
interesting. Yeah,
talking
it'd be
about
super old,
films,
wouldn't it?
we do have Scream 6 out in a couple of weeks, don't we?
Yay.
Yeah.
I,
This remake Scream 2.
I love Scream. It's just that yeah, again, it's just the same formula over and over again. I will go and watch it because I can't
Hmm.
bash it, but I'm not excited to see it, but I will go and see it in the opening weekend. And then I'll tell you what, on this show, I'll tell you what I think about it. Right now, I'll hold judgment.
Yeah, it's the thing is, I could tell that the first one was going to be what the remake, the new one was literally just a remake of the
Best of
first
bits,
one.
best parts.
Yeah, and it's going to do the same in the second one. Could be someone after revenge for for them being killed. I think we already know the plot line, but
Kill
that's what it
Sydney.
is.
Kill Sydney.
So,
Kill
yeah, we'll probably
Sydney.
yeah. So what we'll do, we'll probably draw this episode to a close. If you have watched this and you have listened this far, let us know which of the Chucky films is your favourite out of all. Could put a poll up, couldn't we, at some point? I might do that on Twitter. I'm not doing it
Yeah,
on
the
Instagram
poll, by
because
the way,
Instagram's
talking
okay.
about that. Simon, our polls for our Dream Halloween Horror Nights, wasn't it Scooby Doo and
Yeah, I will bring them up right now.
yeah.
If I can bring up Twitter.
We sorry, we nearly all forgot about this, but we do have our results
Yeah,
for our Dream Halloween Horror Nights. If you want to know
yeah,
all the other houses, you go back to that episode about 3 episodes ago now.
yeah. We put a couple of polls out, and uh, oh wow, so much has been released as we said then.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you
uh,
Scooby Doo one.
yeah, the first one was Ghostbusters Afterlife against Alien, and we had 26 votes. So thank you very much. 73% said Alien, which Phil was a bit upset about that one, I think.
Yeah, you got bad taste, people.
Yeah.
I'm sure Joe.
Um,
I think Joe was on my side as well on most of these.
yeah, and the other one didn't get as many votes. I think because we put it out a little bit later, which did I expected this to be the other way around, but it was Halloween 3 against Scooby Doo Monsters, and Scooby Doo Monsters won with 56%.
And this is why children shouldn't be allowed to vote.
No, I told you, Scooby Doo's actually Scooby. It's quite
Scooby
scary.
Doo does not. Anybody who's going to Halloween Horror Nights, and I don't care, I'll upset the whole bloody nation now. Anyone who chose Scooby Doo over Halloween 3 for Halloween Horror Nights, give your Halloween Horror Nights passes back, your tickets. You shouldn't be allowed in my opinion. That's disgusting. You want Scooby Doo? Go and watch a Cartoon Network. Grow up.
Oh, you can tell he's a bit bitter about these ones, couldn't you?
That's disgusting. I didn't
But
mind that
Phil
one. I
did.
can handle Alien, but
Yeah, well,
Scooby Doo. Oh.
Phil accused me of cheating by using 2 accounts. I actually only used my own account. I
He
didn't
used
use the other
17.
account.
He opened loads of accounts, clearly. I am going to be like Trump supporters now and blame everyone else.
Yeah. Oh, right. I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah, Chris's my light's not
Yeah.
working properly anyway.
No. It's
Right,
dying.
guys,
Everything's
thanks
dying on us.
for watching, listening to this episode of Epic Haunts. As Simon said before, subscribe to us on YouTube, Epic Haunts, like the videos, comment down below. As Simon says, tell us your favorite movie. Tell us if you're looking forward to the house at Halloween Horror Nights. Share these
Yep.
videos out to people on all that. And every
Yeah.
podcast app out there, what you can make a review on, give us a good review. And yet again, share it out there to your friends, your family, or anybody who may be interested. Anything
Yeah.
from you, Simon?
No.
Socials?
Well, I pick haunts at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok,
That's simple.
Facebook. We've got a page, Facebook page.
What lazy on.
Yeah. Well, if you're on Facebook, if you don't follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, but you follow us on Facebook, everything we put on Instagram goes on Facebook anyway. So don't have to worry about that.
And obviously on Twitter, go and follow Horror Night Nightmares for their speculation maps and all the great stuff they do as well. Without them, we wouldn't have so many episodes because we wouldn't have as much to talk about.
No, definitely not. And if you are listening to this, obviously let us know about your go back to our last episode, the speculation map version 1. Let us know which is your favourite house on that list as well.
Yep. So that's pretty much it from me and Simon. So from me, be epic. Simon.
And for me, stay spooky.
Scooby bloody do. What is wrong with you people?
Spooky do.